here to party.
Wow. Nice.
Here to party in the studio, in the studs. We're here.
We sure are.
Welcome back, everyone. We're on episode 123.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. So this week we have on some hip-hop. Have it on Spec Kay.
Mm-hmm.
So
Sure do.
pretty stoked about that. Haven't had on some hip-hop in a while.
No, we haven't, actually.
So, yeah. So it'll be pretty... I'm trying to think the last hip-hop we had on was probably Mike Bradley, right? In Dirty Water.
Yeah. Probably.
Yeah. We're doing the Warheads challenge.
Little did they know that I love Warheads.
Yeah, so it really wasn't a challenge. Little did they know, but they probably assumed that I did not like Warheads. So it all worked out.
Oh,
So we were back for another Thursday episode.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
What is this thing doing? Okay. Yeah, here we are.
Yeah. So, hell of a week so far.
It sure is.
It's only Thursday. I'm off tomorrow, so it's okay.
I wish I was off tomorrow.
I wish you were too, because I'm going to see Endgame.
I know.
Finally.
Really, God damn, I want to see that.
I know. So I've gotten through the week with no spoilers. I've been staying off social media as much as possible.
I haven't seen any on there, even. Like, I haven't seen anybody putting any spoilers up.
Yeah.
I'm not looking for them, but I haven't seen them. I kind of gathered a few things. Is it the last one they're doing?
Of the phase?
Of, like, the
So right now it's on
Avengers?
phase 4. Not sure. They haven't really announced.
It kind of seemed
any
like everybody
Avenger-ish.
was, like, making it sound like it was the last Avengers movie or something.
Probably.
So,
From what I've read, Spider-Man Far From Home is going to be wrapping up phase 4.
what's phase 4?
I don't know. They just do phases. So like phase 1 was like all the introductory, like Iron Man, then Thor and all that stuff. And phase 1 ended with the Avengers movie. So, and then phase 2 came in and it was like, other stuff. So.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, there's like a whole order you can watch them in.
I just went and saw
Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel last week.
What do you think of Captain Marvel?
I thought it was pretty good.
I liked it.
I liked how it went back to the 80s
Yeah.
and started off.
Well, it was 90s.
Oh, it was the 90s?
Yeah.
Okay.
Blockbuster.
I like how it went back and did that and started like how S.H.I.E.L.D. was kind of starting
Yeah.
and all that, and how she was like the first alien or whatever.
Right.
So that's kind of cool.
Got to see Coulson.
Yeah.
Not much, though.
Not really.
I was hoping he's going to be in a lot more, but...
Do you ever watch the show?
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like 3 seasons behind.
Yeah, I don't know where I'm at on it.
It's like,
Watch it
you
here
got to
and
watch
there.
like 24 episodes. It's crazy.
Well, yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot in a season. It's a good show, though.
Also, I really think that you need to put an accomplishment down that you watched all the X-Files in, 2 weeks?
Yeah, something like that. Well, I was unemployed, so
Dude.
I didn't leave the house.
What are you doing? X-Files. All right, I'll talk to you later.
Yeah. Not proud.
Not proud.
But I did it.
You did it.
It's been a while. I need to do it again.
I was like, dude, I can't even get through the 2nd season.
Oh, I love that show. It's great.
Well, I mean, no, I loved it. It's just, it's so long.
Yeah. I might have skipped 1 or 2 episodes, but not very many.
And they start showing the creature or whatever. You're like, oh shit, what's this person gonna do? The fuck's that thing doing?
The 90s animation that they had.
God, it was terrible.
Yeah. It's pretty hilarious.
Yeah. Some of it was like comical because it was so bad.
Yeah.
But then it was like, people were like, whoa, It's kind of like Nick Swartzen said. He's like, what if you took the Transformers movie and like showed it to the people in the 50s?
They'd probably freak out.
Yeah, they'd be like, holy fuck.
It's real.
It's in color.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's real.
Well, what do you think?
Yeah.
Give them a call. Get this show on the road.
Get this show on the Rizzode. I regret saying that immediately.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet you do. Hey, he's calling us.
All right. Hope the camera works.
I know, right? Hey, I think it's working. Nice.
Hey.
All right. Hey, how's it going?
Oh, I'm good, man. How you guys doing?
We're pretty good.
Doing good. Doing good.
Are you guys live yet? Or
Yep, we sure are.
Oh snap! Wow, perfect timing.
We're on. You're live with us.
Oh man, were you guys out in Arizona?
Indiana.
Indiana. One of my favorite rappers is from Indiana. Freddie Gibbs.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's from Gary.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And you guys are in was it Lafayette?
Yep.
Lafayette, right?
Yeah.
I think that's a town. Like, to be a rapper, you just have to know a bunch of like random facts. It's like a Jeopardy brain. So I think like Lafayette is like a place in North Carolina, which J. Cole is from, but he's from Fayetteville. So like that's how my brain works as far as like like reference points. Yeah.
Yeah, we're like an hour north of Indianapolis, I guess.
Oh yeah, and I'm a Colts fan, so.
Oh, nice.
Go Blue, yeah.
Yeah.
Peyton Manning, and I'm sorry you have to go. God damn it.
Right?
Right.
He was the best.
Yeah, and Victor Oladipo went to school and plays for Indiana. He stayed in Indiana, so
Yeah.
Go Pacers.
Hell yeah.
So
So
how you guys doing today, man?
good.
Doing good. Trying to just get to the end of the week.
Right.
Yeah. I got a whole bunch of stuff in the pipeline. I kind of live and die by my calendar at this point, which the signs of being an adult is like, oh man, I gotta go to the studio at this time. I gotta go to the meeting over here. Like it's gotten to the point where like I collect sneakers. I'm a big sneakerhead. And like I'm scheduling times to go home so I can actually be available for drops now. Like that's how terrible like my time management is, or a need for my calendar is getting.
I feel ya. Me and him have a calendar we share on our phone, and I was like going through and putting like all of the kids' stuff on there, and like I'm planning for a wedding, so we got stuff on there when I'm busy. So I'm putting on our calendar like that I'm busy in all these times. And he asked me the other day, he goes, "Did you mean to put you were busy from like 1 a.m. to 2 a.m.?" And I go, "No, but don't."
Technically, if sleep counts, then
Right.
Yeah. You're like, yeah, I'm sleeping.
So yeah, it's I feel that.
That's usually the hardest thing to get in anymore is the sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's getting bad. Like I try to be in bed by like latest 11 o'clock, but usually I'm up either working on an idea, practicing on something, or just on my phone trying to like learn something new, and that'll like sink me into the rabbit hole till like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I always get torn between like, do I want to stay up late and do something, or do I want to get up early and get like started early in the day? Because like why can't I have both? I want to stay up till midnight,
Right.
and then get up at like 6 a.m. and do something before I go to work. But
Are you guys both morning people or night people usually?
I'm more of a night person. I hate the mornings.
I
actually love the morning. I like getting up early. Like if it's like 6:30, 7 o'clock, I'm like up and ready to go.
I have to be at work at 8 a.m. and I'm usually like up at 7:30.
Yeah, I have to be at work
running out the door
at 6 a.m. So I'm usually up by 4:45 at the latest.
Oh my God, that's the ass crack of dawn.
Yeah.
Satan is not even up causing trouble that early.
It's terrible.
There's no way I'm getting up with anything nothing around 4 in it. Like, it's not happening. There's no way. So tell us a little bit about yourself, man. How'd you get started and how you've got to where you're at and all that?
I guess just like the love of music. I kind of think of like music kind of like a martial art in a sense of like you study these houses or these forms and these styles. So I was like heavily attracted to like rap music probably like around the age of probably like 9, 10. I remember going to Georgia to visit like my aunt and my cousins, and that's when I saw my first two rap videos I actually seen on TV that I actually paid attention to. It was "The Way I Am" by Eminem when he's like falling
Oh yeah.
infinitely. Yeah, and it was Southern Hospitality by Ludacris, and kind of that was like the introduction to like my ears to like the Neptunes and Pharrell style production.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of funny because he's one of like my biggest inspirations, and Eminem is one of my biggest lyrical inspirations as far as like people who I like would go back to on a constant basis. Him, Jay, Nas, Lupe Fiasco, Kanye, Common, Wale, um, and then just rap in general, just digesting rap and being at the forefront. Like I kind of like we grew up where the internet started to become more than just a place you could just go online and like talk to people. You can actually like download music,
Yeah.
and you can actually like trade that downloaded music and like talk about that downloaded music. So like
Mm-hmm.
I would say throughout like middle school and high school, I'd just be at the computer just ingesting information constantly. And then actually, in the third video that I saw, one of like the earliest videos that I've seen growing up was Californication by Red Hot Chili Peppers,
Mm-hmm.
and it's probably like one of the most creative things
Oh
I've
yeah.
yet seen at the time. I thought it was a video game. I was like, "Yo, when is this video game coming out?"
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
want to get it. And then just like how like musical life comes full circle. Like they're another one of my big inspirations, and just listen to their stuff, like how Ketis raps and sings, and
Mhm.
they just like evolved over the years. So that's kind of how I got started, just becoming a fan, and always having like a quick brain and being like funny and comical. You don't know how resourceful that is when it comes to like writing lyrics and just being able to just like put things together, you know? So just like fusing just wits with the love of music, you kind of boom, you get a rapper.
I think it takes like a special kind of writer to do rap. Like you have
For
to.
sure.
Writing lyrics is hard enough, but I think rap is kind of different. Like it's got to be wittier. I think in a way. Like
It's always got to be what's that term they use in like the tech industry, like cutting edge.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, you always got to be on the forefront of, I guess, like innovation or in real time, and it's sonically. You always have to be cutting edge in the sense of you always have to like be the most observant, the most sharpest, the most engaging at all times, and that is like it could be hard, but when it's done right, it's like surfing, you know. You're riding that wave, and
Mm-hmm.
when you're at the edge of the wave, or when you're in the barrel, and you know you are right at that point where you can escape the wave and conquer it. That's what like lyric writing feels like at times.
Yeah.
I realized that because I was just watching what is it, HBO Sports, and they were talking about surfing the other day. I was like, wow, this kind of relates to like rapping in the sense of like just being always on, not at the edge of like literal danger, but putting yourself in a spot to be like vulnerable, where it's either subject matter wise or being risky in a sense of style, in a sense of approach, where people might say, wow, this is kind of new and it might not be received well, but it's always that level of risk that kind of pays off with the reward.
Nice.
And I always thought there's got to be some kind of like, breathing technique, because you're getting out a lot all in one, like one breath. So I know like, I've heard of that. There's some techniques, but I don't, do you use any of those?
It's all about setting yourself up. Like, it's kind of like, boxing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're throwing like a flurry of combinations, you want to give yourself some breathing room, some resting room. So you do that in like your pacing, your flow, the your word selection, how you put these words together. Those all help with breathing through it, and just and sometimes not breathing can be added advantage too as well, because you're adding like a different dynamic or a different character when you're spitting. It's like it's a little bit, you can feel the person is like doing it unplugged, and it's
Yeah.
in real time, and it's not as polished or as pretty as it should be
Mm-hmm.
when your cadences sometime go off, when your breath cuts out. But like there's different ways to like maneuver when rapping, and then it's just about following the beat too, and that usually helps too. It's like when you're on beat or when you're off beat, that you're setting yourself up for good shots and good opportunities. And it works for lyrics too. Like timing is everything. Like
Mm-hmm.
you don't want to go out of breath when you're gonna say something dope,
Mm-hmm.
So like you have to like know your timing correctly.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like I'm losing my voice.
Yeah.
I was gonna.
Breathe.
When it comes to like writing your songs, how do you go about doing it? Do you have your lyrics first, or do you have like the music in mind and then you do your lyrics with that?
That's a good question, because, like, sometimes people, when they talk about rap and hip hop, it's kind of like poetry in a
Yeah.
sense.
Ironically, I wasn't too big into poetry growing up
Mm-hmm.
because it's like I was big into reading poetry. Not big into reading poetry, but I was like, oh, poetry's cool. Like you kind of like see the AB or AABB or ABA verse stanzas and
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. But like, I remember just like I always thought, oh, poetry is so dry. Can they just put a beat
Yeah.
behind it? It should be so much better.
Right?
Just throw some drums on these words. Like, come on.
Yeah. Poetry is super dry.
But it is a good foundation. But back to the question. Yeah, it depends. Like lately, it's been a mutation of sometimes I'll have some things like not even written out. I'll like just have like a couple phrases, and then I'll stash it. And if it's about a subject matter, I'll bring it into what I'm like fully fleshing out. If it's something like witty or something cool, I'll find the song that'll fit into. Sometimes I'll just like do voice notes and have memos of like choruses, little one-liners, bridges, and stuff like that. But most of the time, and my usual process is like I produce the beat, I make the beat first, and then like it's that magic moment where like the beat is telling you what to do as you're making it in real time.
Mm.
You know, it's kind of like you're hitting your stride. Like driving, like that the song is coming on and you're going the right speed and the sun is it's like you get that feeling, that feeling like you're going through it. So um, that usually brings emotion out of me, and it's crazy because sometimes like I'd be struggling to like find the words, especially if it's a song that is like either super personal or super in depth or something that like that has a lot to go. I make the beat and then it'll pull it out of me. And sometimes I make the beat, know that that song needs that feeling, it won't come, and then I pick it up 3 months, 6 months later, and then it's there. And it's kind of like you got to go through life sometimes, get that source material from life, and then it will hit you. Because I know some rappers or some people that I know, they'll like write what they're feeling, and then they might have like a drum beat in mind, they might have like a vibe in mind. But most of the stuff I do is usually in the moment, and it has its drawbacks because if someone's like, "Hey, yo, like when are you gonna drop something new?" It's like, well, like the moment for me to write those kind of songs isn't there yet. So what I've been practicing recently, and with the last album out here, Volume One, is like I've just been trying to be more cognizant of not trying to let the moment find me, but find the moment and just
Mm-hmm.
keep on creating and keep the door open so the wind can come in. So as long as I keep the door open, I know that I'll stay in a creative space.
Nice. Do you make all your own beats then for the most part?
Yeah, yeah. But as of recently, I've been collaborating a lot, and I'm thankful for the people that I collaborate with. I collaborate with my homie who I've known since Dirt. He goes by Sami. He DJs under the name I Get Up, and he's taught me a lot. He's younger than me, but he's taught me how to keep songs interesting, as far as like beat patterns, beat switches, drum patterns. Um, and my friend Corey, who I started working with about 2, 3 years ago, out in Queens, he goes under the name Dogwood Last. He has some phenomenal Bon Iver, Americana folk, electronic music, and whenever we lock in, or whenever all three of us locks in, it's like amazing shit. Oh, it never fails whenever we lock in. Like we were in the studio last weekend, and it was probably one of the most creative sessions that I've had. And we're even working on my stuff. We didn't even get to my stuff at that point. We're working on Sami stuff. And just being in the room with other people who can teach you things, who can show you things, and then the trade of ideas, it just like was steel sharpened steel, and it just makes everything better. And it like takes the pressure off of like, you gotta be a one man show.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. I feel like you kind of think you kind of said it. Like when you make your beats, you kind of pulls the lyrics out of you and everything. I think that makes a lot of sense. Like I
Yeah,
think I don't know.
it's funny. Also, I have to shout out my engineer Loon. He also whenever we're in the studio and we lock in and he's like recording the sessions, his ideas and his inputs and the way we trade off of each other, it's like he knows what I'm gonna do before I do it, and vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever we're putting the songs together, when it comes to the vocal part, it's like, okay, you already know the tricks I want to do. I know the tricks that you have in your bag. Let's find some new stuff, and then we just try to put we whenever I'm with him, I want to welcome him into the soundscape too, and have everybody's identity within this production that I'm making, so it can hit multiple people for multiple reasons. It's just underneath my guidance, which I find cool because it's kind of like being a director.
Mm-hmm. So for like a lot of bands, they like to have all their music written and practice and real tight when they go into the studio, and like they just
Mm-hmm.
go in, bust it out, and record it, and they're done. Is that different for you when you got? Because it seems like maybe like when you go to the studio, you're still writing some beats and getting stuff put together, or do you guys do that off?
Nah. Usually, I practice the hell out of it before I even step into the studio.
Okay.
Um, and that's where I get the cadences like down packed. That's where I get like the phrasing down packed. That's where I start like fine tuning lyrics. So I'd sit on probably like 3 songs, practice those for a week, maybe even 5 days, and then just have those on a going rotation throughout my day. I'll write it on my phone, use my phone, try to go off memory, and then when I'm in the studio, I'm not focusing on how is it supposed to sound, because I know how it's supposed to sound, or I know how like I'm supposed to perform it, and I try to, and I'm just um, replaying that emotion me with those lyrics versus trying to find that emotion in the booth at that time, because
Mm-hmm.
that can cut down on creativity as far as like
Right.
time creativity, in the sense of like, okay, we got to get to the next part, or we got to do something new, or we have to like start tweaking the song like with the soundscape. If I can like come as prepared as possible, it leaves more room for us to do all the weird, crazy, fun shit on the back end.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
It's it's funny because I was on the train today and I was listening to this podcast. You ever heard of Song Explorer or Song
Yeah.
Exploder?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I haven't picked it up in a while, but the episode that I was listening to was Fleetwood Mac, and they were explaining how "Go Your Own Way" was made,
Nice.
and just listening to like other people's creative process, kind of is kind of a way for me to like not just perfect my creative process, but to add more like layers to what
Right.
I do, because you never know where inspiration can come from and where you can like fine tune your method.
Mm-hmm. I bet that was interesting to listen to them, how they
Oh,
did
Fleetwood Mac, oh my god, that Rumors album was popping.
that.
Oh yeah.
Popping.
Oh
I
yeah.
saw. I went to Philly a couple years back, and I'm mad I didn't pick it up on vinyl. But that Rumors album is popping. It just sounds like I can watch that. I can listen to that album while watching Forrest Gump on mute, and that would be like a great way to spend 3 hours.
Oh, listen.
It goes so good. And I'm gonna do it. It's like the best. It's like the best Journey album. One of the best like albums as far as like romance and all that kind of stuff, and just the ambiance it sets is powerful. It's popping.
I'm just trying to picture that, like listening to that album on repeat with Forrest Gump playing. Like,
It just I feel like just go together.
I'll have to try it sometime.
I think you know what it is.
Sitting there
Because I think "Go Your Own Way" was actually in Forrest Gump when he was running.
Yeah, I
across
think
the
it
country.
might have been. Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably like, and Forrest Gump is probably one of my favorite movies because Tom Hanks is an American treasure. So
There's so many
like,
great lines in that movie, though. You
Oh,
can't.
yeah.
I mean, you can't miss them.
I know what love is.
That's my boat, Jenny.
That's my boat. Space legs.
Yeah. You got new legs.
I love that movie.
I used to watch that all the time when I was a kid, you know, like didn't understand most of it, but you know,
Oh my god!
but damn,
I
it was a good
learned
movie.
every time. Every time, yeah. Because when I was a kid, I used to watch it. It used to come on TV, and then just being a fan of Tom Hanks because
Yeah.
you know he's an American treasure. He's one of the goats. Like Toy Story, he did Toy Story,
Right.
Right?
So I was like, yo, this dude is really. And then he did Road to Perdition, and I was like, yo, man, Forrest Gump is like lit. And I just kept watching it, and it's super philosophical. And I kind of like want to take that approach with music a lot. Is like, it's funny because here's this movie about a guy doing a bunch of random stuff and like going through the process of life, and in the real world it doesn't work like that. So it's kind of a juxtaposition when he asks his mother what's his destiny, and I think that's the question we as humans ask ourselves all the time, you know.
Right.
And what I try to do with my music is try to answer the question but not be preachy about it. I just try to give like background music and music
Oh,
because I feel most of the songs we remember aren't the ones that were talking to us like a preacher, but they were just like talking for us, with us, or they were like the albums that like gave us a great soundscape through our time in life. And I try to take that. I guess that's like the Forrest Gump approach that I take with my music sometimes. It's like I don't want to say this is what happened to me unless it's something that I can really like reach across. Like a song called Chain Gang. It's kind of about things that are happening around me, and it's like the things that happen around you also shape you as you go through your day, your month,
Mhm.
your week, your year, whatever. So that's the stuff you kind of like need to step back and notice at times.
right. So I'm guessing most of your songs you write, are they about your life, or are they just about like your views on life in general, or?
There's like they fall into three categories. Some of them are about my life. Some of them are about like my views Some of them are like I won't say fictitious tales, but like emotional tales that are rooted in insert any person in that could be you.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe four categories, and then just the braggadocious rap tunes that you need just to like make it fun and keep it fun and not make it so hard all the time
Right.
or so like angry, just so like uh, heavy all the time. Um, and I enjoy all of it. I enjoy being like the observe and report type of person, whether it's about me, whether it's about my society, or whether it's just a, about like current events.
Right on. Um, what song you got? What?
We're gonna be playing your music video for Yellow Beams.
Yeah, that's what it was. What's that?
Oh, word.
Is there any
Um,
special meaning behind that song or anything else?
yeah. Um, so the first song off the album was called Yellow Beams, and it's actually a beach house sample.
Mm.
And then I really wanted to just I didn't know that I was gonna make a part two, so I it's kind of funny how that the Yellow Beams part two came together. I so crazy. So um 3 days before Halloween, I had got laid off at my job,
Mm.
and right before, and 2 days before Halloween, I was traveling to Europe. So I was like, damn, I'm gonna be out in this country with no job, blowing all this money. Woo! This is gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
So it's great. Like I forgot, I was so in my own head. Like the people that I was traveling with say, "Yo, still, we're gonna meet up at Kareem's house, and then we're gonna go to the airport." I was like, "Wait, we're traveling today?" I was like, "Where have you been?" Like, yeah, it was today. We're leaving today. So I had to like rush, pack, jump on the car, jump on the plane. Landed. We're in Paris. We went to Amsterdam, and we went to London. Um, when I was in London and Amsterdam, I went record shopping, and in London, I was in Camden Market, and I was shuffling through records, and I picked this one record. It looked like it was from a movie, so it was one of the records I brought back home with me, and then most of like the back end of the album started to come together when I was just like at home with no job, because I was like, well, I have all this time. I want to use it productively. I have this unstable emotion that I'm in right now. So all I really have is this music. So then I was like, fuck it, let me try to do something. Let me just try to be creative and productive. Um, I took out that soundtrack record, put it on. I was listening through it. I found a part, I sampled it, and then I started manipulating the sample. And as I was like replaying it and chopping it up, I kept thinking of Swiss Beats, and I was like, man, I really like how Swiss Beats like chops up samples. So I started like doing my best Swiss Beats rendition, and I was like, oh shit, I'm onto something. So then I made the beat, and then like I said, that the wind came in as I was doing that, like that emotion, that like inspirational wind, and that's why the first lines is like, I've been moving with my reckless visions, can't nobody tell me different. And what that means is kind of like, this is all I have is this music, and it's a long shot, but it's worth shooting, you know. And you kind of have to go throw caution to the wind when you're like, I guess when you're chasing your dreams, or when you're going for something that you, when you're making a stand for something you believe for, you have to like, you have to say all these things that are in the way don't make any sense. And if you have nothing, this is the thing you always revert back to. So yeah, so it has a special place in my heart, because it's such a it's such a testament kind of song. It's kind of like if you ever played a sport, and you had like that quote that you have in your locker, or that banner that's in the locker room. It's kind of like that kind of feeling I get from it. And plus, it was at a time where everything was kind of like questionable. So like the second half of the verse, I'm really just talking about like what I seen at the time. And what I seen at the time was like Europe, and it was my first time in Europe. So I was talking just all of like the 11 days that I had in Europe, which is probably just the randomest amount of fun and engagement just I've ever had as a human. So I try to incorporate that in there. And yeah, it was I bumped into Tim Westwood. It was so crazy. Like I I was in London in a cafe, and just sitting out the window, and I kind of say it in the song, I'm like, damn, yo, it's like I'm broke as fuck. Once I come back from this trip, I'm gonna be broke as all fucking hell. And I'm just like sitting there just like plotting, and I'm like, oh shit, that's Tim Westwood. So I jump out, I'm like, yo, Tim Westwood, you like the funk flex of like rap music and like rap DJs over here, and I've been watching you ever since the Eminem freestyles that you put out. So it was like crazy. It was just super cool and crazy, and just like I don't know, it was just like one of those things.
That's awesome.
Nice. Feel like I came to Europe and then I get to see. Oh my God, you know.
Oh, you said the video. Wait, you said you're playing Yellow Beams 1 or 2?
One.
Oh shit!
So
Oh, Yellow Beams 1. Damn, Yellow Beams 1 was just a flex song. Wow, my bad. I just said I'm
no, you're good.
the part 2. Yeah, Yellow Beams 1. That was the song that I sampled. Beach House, and it was actually the first song that I ever recorded for this new project, and it kind of set the tone because I wanted to go in there with something super fun and super light, and I wanted to get my rap off, so I wanted to just get as much rapping that I could, and just like it's like watching Jordan at practice. It's like, yo, this is Michael Jordan, and I can see how he practiced and how he does his thing. So that's why there's no chorus in the song. It's just straight bars.
Right on.
That's awesome.
Hell yeah. So do you have anything
Wow.
coming up that you're doing? Are you got any shows you're playing? Or are you working on anything new?
Yeah, I just played a couple shows in April in the city. And then I just started jumping back into the studio for like the next project. I'm a couple songs in, and it just keeps mutating. I wanted it to make it short, but it just keeps getting longer and not longer, longer. It just keeps, I keep adding songs and keep making new things as I go along with it. So I think that's the method I'm gonna take with this one is just keep adding music, and then just have no real stop point until it comes to a certain length or a certain maturity, and then cut from there, and then release it. Yeah, but I'm excited about this one because the last two records, Out Here Volume 1 and 27, they were like sonically they were on the darker side of things. Um, Out Here being the lighter of the two, but this one I want to get um, a more like bright and light atmosphere to it. So I want to make everything like super springy and summery, and just like have those colors and have to paint with like brighter colors.
Right.
Hell yeah. Nice. I don't know. Do you have any more questions for him?
Got one more for you. I know you got to get going. You know, we always ask people for advice, you know, to other musicians or other artists. Is there anything that you could give to anybody?
I would say, um, don't be afraid to reach out. Whether it's reaching out to a director for a music video idea you want, an engineer for someone to like start a new session with, whether it's other musicians, don't be afraid to reach out, because that's something I learned the hard way of like in my earlier days trying to do it all, thinking that I had no resources, but you have more help than you actually know. All you got to do is reach out, and people are definitely there to welcome you when you reach out.
Hell yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's always a lot of people are afraid to get out there and just ask,
Yeah.
And it's if they would have done it sooner, then they really would have realized how much more they could have gotten done.
And that's the thing. It's like if you don't reach out or if you don't ask, you kind of like you get hard on yourself when things aren't working or when you like plateaued or if you peaked. And then if you do and you kind of get that moment of regret, it's like, I should have done this earlier. I should have like capitalized on this opportunity earlier. And then it's kind of like if you were just to, and people are afraid of like no, or they're afraid of the unknown. But if you just like make that leap and see where it goes, like the worst thing happens is like you get a no or it doesn't work, but life still goes on. Like it's kind of like, you fell off your bike. It hurts for probably 5 minutes. You get back up and you start riding again.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Right on, man. Well, hey, thanks for coming and talking to us. It was cool meeting you, and get a hold of us when you get some more stuff out, and maybe we can do this again sometime.
Oh man, thank you. I really really appreciate it, and this was fun. I like even just beyond like music. I just like talking about music and just like trading ideas. And I kept staring at your shirt because tomorrow is.
Oh yeah.
the 4th. May the 4th.
Yeah.
Oh, oh yeah, that is coming up, isn't it?
So like, but yeah, like, yeah, I like as a like a person of music and a person who loves to do music, like this is always fun to me. Just being able to just like spread it and just putting something good out there in the world and in the atmosphere and making people's lives a little bit more like enjoyable. And thank you for what you guys do, because you're definitely a part of that community of just like invoking thought.
Mm-hmm. We love hearing everybody's stories. Like I
Yeah.
always like to hear how everybody got started or what they're into and everything else. It's always cool to hear. So
Yeah. Honestly, it's either between this or just going back to film school. So
man, film sucks. Sorry, but that's just hard. That's hard to work with.
No, but it's just like it's music on a visual level in a sense of like cross collaborations and planning things and rollouts.
Like
it's like a lot of my discipline of being so like calculated came from film, where it's like the more unprepared you are, the more money you lose.
Mm-hmm.
In music, the more unprepared you are, the more time. Well, you lose money too, but the more time you lose.
Yeah,
it's just
time is like it's the resource no one can ever get back.
Yeah,
you know?
I just hate working. Like we've tried to edit videos and stuff, and it's just a nightmare.
That's like my favorite thing to do.
It's cool, but it's like really like time consuming.
It's very tedious. Yeah, I get. Yeah, it's like damn, I'm gonna be here working the same amount of clips for 5 hours.
Yeah.
Can someone put another pot of coffee on?
Yeah, maybe 2.
Yeah.
Well, hey man, you have a good night, and keep in touch with us and keep us updated on what you got going on.
Oh, for sure, and vice versa. Thank you for having me again. Yeah, you guys have a great night and enjoy May 4th. For all the Star Wars out there, and thank you, man.
All right, man.
Anytime, man.
Talk to you later.
All right. Peace.
Later. All right. So, we're going to check out the music video for Yellow Beams.
Yep. Yep.
Gonna check out this music video. Right. Yep. Need to sound clip that. Yep. All right.
God damn it. We need to find somebody else to do these interviews.
All right, let's check this out.
All right.
Yellow beams, can get everything. You a candle in the sun, so you know what that mean. I run a country, you run with Afro Sheen. I'm Zamundas, Lex Luger, Black Panthers are pretty cool, cause yeah, shooters.
Okay, I don't know what's going on with YouTube right here, but I'm just going to refresh it. Okay, let's do this again. Sorry about that.
Yellow beams, can get everything. You a candle in the sun, so you know what that mean. I run a country, you run with Afro Sheen. I'm Zamundas, Lex Luger, Black Panthers are pretty cool, cause yeah, shooters and they Rugers can never put holes in the dream. You can never, ever, ever kill the soul of a king. Come back up on the looker, poppin' cider on the scene. Couple lighters on the scene. Ooh, got a burning vision, baby. You could be my witness lady, cause the internet it raised me. Come and view me going crazy and drumming like the Navy. See, I took my L smooth, need a SLS Mercedes. Situated, escalated, I'm the root, excavated. I'm the one you shouldn't play with. Now tell me where's my payment, like meth in the deuce. I'm just talking to you and I, this verse is a coup. Yeah, Pele the facts, the way I kick round the truth. I pray to God that I'm pedal stopping foreign motors, reeking of a certain odor, stinking success. Who gon' stop all the flex? I'm just aiming for next. Best for shuffle the decks. I'm from nowhere, you were saying what you know about the set. Wait, big up my rejects, and we see you photogenic, but you never post a threat. You just easily impressed. I just easily finesse in my Canadian tux. Finished denim like it's guest on my Levi's. They be knee high, mosh pitting with my niggas. Yeah, belly of the beast. Snowstorm K, the way I season up the streets. And you salty ass niggas keep on kissing on your teeth. Keep talking down to me, I'ma show up where you sleep. Turn your life into a mixtape and let your blood leak. Lovely, trust me, just wanna live comfy. Mac it on 10, shout out Dub C. Nuggin' if you buckin', bitch, I'm brewing up something. Ain't no ice, hockey skating through. Can't nobody stop me, I am Frank Lucas, set up shot B. Hold up, don't get blood on my alpaca 15 feet. Back up, all that chatter, bad for business. Ramble for the digits. Need all of the shine, cold as shit. Photosynthesis, you niggas on some simple shit. Yellow beams, yellow beams, yellow beams, yellow
Nice.
Hell yeah.
I like it.
I do too. Sorry. The air's dry up here or something.
Something, yeah.
We're up here like losing our voices and
Right.
yeah, we need those. Specifically for what we're doing right now. So don't forget to, you can find him on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. It's just all those, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram / Spec Kay Music.
Mm-hmm.
It's also on YouTube. So he also has an album out called Out Now. So be sure to check that out.
Perfect.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Out Now.
No, what's it? I know it's out now. What's it called?
No, it's literally called Out Now. Out Now is out now. So check it out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Right on.
So that's probably going to about do it for us tonight.
Wrap it up for the night.
Yeah, wrap it up for the
When are
Nizite.
you coming back?
I don't have anything booked next week.
Oh,
so
you don't? Okay.
Not yet.
Okie dokie.
So
I thought you had something next week.
no.
Something the week after that?
Do I?
No? Oh, you don't have anything booked for the rest of the month. I thought there was a bunch of stuff on there. Okay.
Not yet,
Whatever.
but I will.
Whatever.
So
Right on. Well, I
Yeah.
guess that's my cue to...
play me off, Johnny. So don't forget, you can like us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We're on the Instagrams a lot.
Are we?
Try to be. I've just been staying away from everything this week, because Endgame's coming up.
I just mean
For
in
me
general. I never know what to post.
Hey.
Hi.
So we're also on YouTube. Got our website, allaroundmusicpodcast.com, which I need to update.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that need updated.
Dude, work schedule's been like crazy off the wall.
Everything.
So, yeah, everything, yeah. So, if you want to take us on the go, we are on iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher. So, until the next time.
See ya.
Bye.